Hello, hello. Sorry it took so long on this, or to get to this. I've just been like super busy, whatever. I was GM2 last season, currently stuck in Plat 1 to D3. I play support mainly, and I want to know how to become a better support so I can climb back to my old rank and higher. Now I play 1200 and 1.8. I think that's like, that's a bit higher than mine, but I think if you're comfortable with it, I think it's fine. So I watched a little bit of this, and the first thing I noticed was just like how often you're just holding down left click, and it kind of makes sense. You want to just have like shots being fired at your teammates to just kind of loud, just in case they do take damage. That totally makes sense, but a lot of the time it's just being wasted. So other things you could be doing, instead of just like holding left click in between fights, is you could be like pushing up and into a safe position. I'll get to this in a second. Into like a safer position and a safe distance as the transform as man, I don't know the names. As Cloak, yeah, as Cloak, and then using your blind to start the fight, and then just running away, or maybe even using it mid-fight for blind, to blind people. But most of the time, you're spending the whole fight as Dagger, and that's great if your team is like really, really needing heals. But it's okay to throw out some offensive abilities sometimes. Just something that makes in. Oh, and another thing. So since you're only healing, there's no reason for you to be in a position where you can potentially die. So just like this sight line, it's basically just going to be this straight line here. So playing here or playing back here or right here even, you can do the same thing that you're doing, but just at a safer distance. Probably right here is fine too. But right now you're just standing in the line of fire, taking damage at the same time, while you could be doing the same thing, but not taking damage, you know? See what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna show enemy's point of view real quick. Right here. Let's just say... Yeah, like, if I'm this strange, you're probably dying. Or, somebody good on Bucky. You're definitely just dying here. And you'll still have LOS of your strange if you're playing right here on this corner. Just something to keep in mind. Maybe if you're getting picked a lot, just try to play cover a bit better. But so far, doing great. Kind of low, something to be aware of. Didn't need to use that. Kind of a waste. Good blinds. And using your right click like that didn't hurt you this time, but it might in the future, you know? Using it like that when you're, you could just receive healing from your team. Wait, where'd you use it? Here. You want to use it as like an emergency, usually. It's good for like this bubble thing. It's good for sustaining team fights, like if a team fight is like really, really happening. But before a team fight starts, it's sort of lazy, you know? You can just heal them up with your left click. And if you had it for yourself here, then you wouldn't even have to leave your own form or leave a Dagger form. You could and go Cloak, but just have your like right click on the ground healing you at the same time. Wouldn't be totally upset if you used your ult here. Your invisible woman opts to do it. That's fine too. fine. This is fine. Yep. See, this is what I was talking about, sort of. Not here, but like right here. You're just like spamming left click just in case anybody takes any damage. Not the worst thing. Would be totally okay to use your ult here, I think. Like right. Hold on. I'll tell you the exact moment I would use mine. Well, honestly, I would have used it as soon as I heard the Psylocke ulting. But you ended up killing the Psylocke, so it was fine. And it wouldn't have countered the ult per se, but it's pretty much everything that follows it, right? So I turn around. What do you do here? Oh, heals are getting eaten. This, honestly, not a bad play. Not a bad play at all. Going for the shift there, or the fade. And maybe they still would have died if you ulted. So I don't know. Hey, hey, hey. What are you doing? There you go. Quit typing. I saw Venom fly up. No reason to use your bubble there. Ah. Oh no. This is. I'm thinking that maybe this early bubble. I think I killed you guys. I think if you use it during that ult instead of right before when there kind of wasn't a reason to, I think you might have been able to live.
There's still a chance to stop them.
Maybe.
Better stop that vehicle.
Berserker!
Whoa.
I am ready to put on a show.
Alright, we're going for this.
It's much better.
I'm trying to think. I think you guys were bound to wipe there, to be honest. Maybe you could have made a play, but probably not gonna win that. It's good. You're waiting for everybody to regroup. That is a habit that most people don't have in this game, even at like the highest rank.
Better stop that vehicle.
Yeah, moments like this, I think you could be peeking and just spamming with your left click, maybe. Curious how you do versus the dives, so.
A little help, please.
You hear the audio. That's a good blind.
One couldn't win without the other. Good medicine.
A little help, please. Lights out. Suffering tongues. My time to shine. That's much better.
One couldn't
Yeah, that might just be cooked. Your invisible woman could have ulted. They had it before you. That's like the only option there.
There's still a chance to stop them. So cold.
Wow. I expected an invisible woman ult there. You could have ulted since you saw that she wasn't doing it.
Now might be a good time to stop them.
I'd say don't be afraid to use your ult more often. Like, you kind of have to learn
Feeling fantastic.
when it's good, like, and when it's bad by using it when your instincts tell you to use it. And then your instincts can kind of learn over time that, oh, that wasn't good, or oh, that was great. because we sustained the fight and we won while they were using ults, whatever. Plus, it also farms pretty quickly. A lot of teams are running triple support too. So you really need to figure out when to use that at the correct time. I think you could have shifted up there and got it. Maybe. Whoa!
My time to shine.
Yeah, that's just another thing, is pushing up super close when you don't need to. Like if, oh wow, he kind of just comes out of nowhere. Your tank's LOSing you. It's kind of, that's not really your fault. But I would probably, since I know, I'd be leaning wide rather than close here, especially versus the Panther. And this is obviously like super hindsight. I was caught off guard by this. But it's just, this is kind of like a root issue where you need to be taking like safer paths versus what the enemy is playing. So I'm not saying that you do this every single time, but it's like something that needs to be noted. I'm gonna think of how to word that better, but you're kind of putting yourself in this position where you can die or you can get picked when you don't necessarily need to. You can just be like back here and kind of doing the same thing that you were just doing. And we still have our ult. It's okay to use ult to sustain fights. Like this is a great ult, but this is like an easy, obvious time to use your ult, right? Somebody else ults you and they're diving you, right? Like obviously you're gonna ult there no matter what, but it's those times where you're not really sure is where you kind of have to go for it, in my opinion, in order to learn. What's all this then? Only a bit close. It's not your job to be close here. You just need to be living. Oof. That's kind of tough. I think you just like felt obligated. Like no one else is going for it, so it's good that you have that instinct to like go in and touch the cart. Maybe you could have shifted. I'm trying to think. Could you have blinded anybody or like swapped to Cloak here and made anything happen? Maybe starting as Cloak and like throwing a quick blind, like right here. Like as they're hopping out of the portal, you throw a blind where they're gonna land, and then swap back real quick. He got strange. He got strange. Yeah.
I am ready to.
I don't think there's a lot you could have done there, really. Besides, like, using your ults a bit more, and then maybe you would have another one built up by the time that this would happen because you used it, like, I don't know. Use it earlier, so you're already working on building a new one. And then you can, like, rely on that somehow. But that's just, like, something of chance that might happen in the future now that you're using your ults more often. That makes sense.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Or a dagger.
Yep. Spamming.
A form of life. Powering up.
Right here, I get that this looks like a good time to use this ability, this wall ability, just because your teammates are stacked up, but it doesn't really do anything. You
Spider-Verse itself.
know what I mean? Because no one's having trouble sustaining here.
A boom of light. Powering up. Oh my, never thought I'd be sad to see death.
Using right click there probably. Where the hell it dies.
Just embrace the light.
Another moment where you didn't really need to use it. It's a good blind. Might need to focus on healing here. Wait for the bubble to end before you swap back. That's good. Bubble is keeping your team up. Another moment where you didn't really need to use it.
Us against the world.
That bubble is fine, I think. Wow, that's good.
I am ready to put on a show.
It's getting scary. You're getting sketchy.
Spider mode.
Yeah. Keeping up your other support is priority number 1 in team fights like this. Watch out for the Agamotto. Gotta keep track of that strange. I think positioning here is fine. Not your job to push that guy out. Heals ability. Something. Yep, good. That's not your fault. The invisible woman was just way out of position. But you definitely could have kept her up. Nice. You played that really well.
Don't turn back now.
Nice ult. Yeah. Support ults were overlapped, but that was good. I think you like just got it, right? So that was like a good adjustment. That was really nice. I think it would have been fine. Maybe anyway because of the support ult, the invisible woman ult, but you were there, you were ready.
Keep up the momentum. Nothing can sever the threads of the web of life and destiny.
Could potentially be, yeah, looking for poke here on the enemy team.
A little help, please. You're halfway.
Hit somebody else on that.
I'll get you next time.
Oh yeah, this is really gonna test you here versus the magic and the panther. Getting dove in this game as a support can be super frustrating.
A little help, please. Please, I got your back.
If you're gonna be looking for peel like this, or to like contest the flanker, having your bubble on the ground, is probably your best bet. You know, just to have something else running and actually like providing heals while you're looking to do damage. But I'm sure you're watching that and you're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Or like, that wasn't perfect, whatever. There you go, bubble on the ground. Shift here. Oh wait, no, you make the right play. You just get your ult. I saw that racket.
Berserker!
Why would I need healing? Anyone willing to help? Powering up. A boom. Us against the wall.
Nice. I like that.
I am ready to put on a show.
Good blind.
My time to shine.
Bubble here is good. Nice. Keep your support up or keep your squishies up.
The web of life is counting on
Really good. Really good.
That's much better.
But looking, since everybody's topped up right here, you could look for a blind, and I think you would be getting very good value. I'm gonna show you the exact moment where I'm looking. Here. Everybody's pretty topped up. Could just swap real quick, throw a blind out, swap back.
I am barely harmed. Powering up.
Especially right here, you could look. There you go. Try to do it a bit quicker.
Us against the world.
Tremble before Bast!
My time to shine. The mystery spice.
Happens really quick.
World.
It's just positioning.
Us against the world.
Maybe.
Tremble before Bast!
Oh no, that's tough. Obviously, like, that happens so quick and you can't... I didn't expect it, really. You can't really expect it when you're in-game. That's fine. But you just want to lower the chances of something like this happening.
Against the world.
So, like, where could you play in order for something like this not to happen? Here, maybe. Here, maybe. Like, if you know that a team fight's about to happen and you know that they've been diving you pretty much every fight. Who are you typing at?
Much better.
You know what to do, Spider. Get that vehicle moving again. Why would I need healing?
Dark Child.
Eye of Agamotto!
Wow, very good fade. Look for a wall or heal wall.
I'll get you next time. Never thought I'd be sad to see death.
Heal wall, heal wall. Nice. Ulting here wouldn't be terrible.
Get ready.
Really, really good heals. Ulting here would be great. It would be so good.
They're sneaking from behind. My time to shine.
Much better.
Shields up. I am ready to put on a show.
So since you have Supportal running, and they're not really ulting with a high amount of damage,
Against the world.
yeah, I was gonna say something about looking for a blind. This is great. Really great.
Now we really have to attack.
I'm gonna go back.
The web of life is counting on us.
In these fights, you definitely want to make sure nobody dies.
My time to shine. Feeling fantastic.
Like fights where you're up a couple players. Like the enemy getting a trade is really bad.
I'll get you next time. That's much
Alright, I'm gonna
so cold.
watch this one more time.
I'll get you
Here.
next time. Oh, please. Systems restarted.
This is like super ideal to ult this because you're in a 5v5, I believe. Yeah, 5v5 situation. You don't want to give them the opportunity to go first. And I mean, if you pop your ult here, then they pop their Luna ult. And then you guys have the Invisible Woman ult for after, and they don't have anything probably. It's just to basically using your ult here allows your team to feel safe and lets you go for like more aggressive plays. It's just one of those times where it's like you gotta train your instincts. I don't know if you're feeling like ulting here or not, but it would have been the right choice in my opinion. Yeah, should be making sure everybody lives here.
Feeling fantastic. You owe me one. Almost there. Don't turn back now.
Wall, use your wall thingy.
Fire mode. A bomb of light.
Needed a little boost. Thanks.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Behind you, Dagger.
Our child. Dang.
Time to shine.
Really, really good.
Hold still. I'm trying to help. Double kill. You can't fly from the
Really, really good.
Keep up the momentum.
Speed this up. So what happens? It all just comes down to one fight, it looks like.
This place and the master ruler must be protected.
Much better.
Let's see.
Just some wisdom.
Outdone.
Another one of those moments where you're just caught on point. Something to be keeping track of a bit. It's okay to be on point before, you know, as the fight is not happening, or in between fights, whatever. But as the fight starts to develop, you gotta be pulling back a bit more. Playing here gives you a good view of what's happening. Just have to watch out for this angle. And they haven't really been playing like too many off angles. They've just been playing run forward and then dive you. But you gotta make it so it's very, very difficult for the enemy team to dive you. Or if... Time to wake up and do VOD views. Or make it so they have to run through your team in order to get to you. Because you're essentially just bait. You're just a little worm. and you're fishing. And your whole team is the fishing pole. But you can't... Your team can't pull on the fishing hole. Fishing. You're just bait. Okay. So you don't want to stack your fishing pole and your worm. Especially versus this team who has like double melee cleave. They can hit multiple targets at the same time. Cleave.
Tremble before blast.
It just gets a lot of value. But if you're playing back, then they have to run to you, and then you could heal through the Black Panther damage if the Black Panther goes on your teammates.
Why would I need healing? In his final moments. Systems restoring.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Get in here, y'all.
My time to shine. You owe me one.
Lights out.
While you have this portal going, you could be doing damage.
Life force is exposed.
Yep. Make sure nobody dies. Very, very important. Invisible Woman was low.
My time to shine.
Still low.
Anything standing your way.
Gotta keep track of that.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Keep fighting until you have a winner.
I was gonna say ulting there would have been good.
Before blast.
If you're like getting overwhelmed, even though they don't have an, you know, an offensive ult going, and that's usually what you've been saving your ult for. If you're feeling just overwhelmed, and like you're continuously getting overwhelmed, and you have your ult, just maybe use it. Even though people are gonna say, "Why'd you ult that? They didn't have anything going," whatever. Fuck them. You know, they don't even know how to use their ults, so they definitely don't know how to use yours.
Against the world.
But overall, I think you can hang. I think you're doing really well. Oh, we're still in this. What happens, C9? Okay, that's fucked up. Wow. How is that a C9? Whatever. Now I'm mad. Yeah, overall, I'd say you're playing really, really well. Just, you fix a few things. Trying to do more during downtime. Positioning further back and like having a better view of the team fight. Making sure you're like not taking damage. Using your ult more often. Don't be afraid to use it aggressively. I noticed a few times you weren't using your healing wall as much as you could have been.
Tremble before blast.
That's about it. Other than that, I think if you fix those few things, especially like the ult one, then you'll start winning a lot more. Yeah, definitely.